I'm Professor Luis Espinasa. I work at Mary's College. I'm a cave biologist. In a recent expedition, we found that there were all these bones. They're from the megafauna, and we want to study them. The challenge is that most of the passages in the caves are underwater, so we've assembled a wonderful team that has an underwater drone. Why do we find so many fossils here? Well, maybe in the Ice Age there were some humans living here, and this was their campground. They hunt around for all the horses and mammoths and animals, and they bring them home for eating, and the bones are just left as garbage. We find scratch marks with their stone tools they were cutting.
So we're going to attempt with the claw to grab onto some of those fossils and see if we can bring them back out.
See the split? That tells us that this is a camel. It's going to be one of the largest cache of Pleistocene remains for the whole area. This is of amazing scientific importance. My interest in cave fish led me to go to this cave in Mexico, a highly technical cave. And while I was snorkeling in one of the pools, I noticed that there was this very big jaw. I picked it up and I thought, this is a horse, and didn't think anymore. When I went back to my home, I'm a biologist, I know anatomy. I remember, no, that pattern doesn't fit. Horses have these teeth with all these complex enamel patterns, while on the contrary, deer, they have something simple. It's these two semilunar folds. But the size doesn't fit local deer in Mexico. That means that it was a camelid. And there's no camels in Mexico. So to me that means that what I actually had was a camelid from the Ice Age, and what we actually have is that these are fossils from the Pleistocene. So we arranged for an expedition to go back to Mexico.
Vamos a ir a dar hasta Nueva York, Toño. Ya está otro, ya me confundí.
Our host's a retired teacher. His name is Maestro Carmen Chavez, and he took us to the cave. After looking at the entrance, he started talking about all the myths that surround this cave.
Aquí me platicaron, aquí hay hasta situaciones medias místicas también. Y se le apareció un hombre como de 250.
Oh, caray.
Grandote.
Uh-huh.
Todo vestido de negro.
Uh-huh.
Y ya más allá ya le dijo, aquí te voy a dejar porque aquí ya está el poblado, dijo, de aquí se ve el poblado. Pago la luz, pero entra la luz, el reflejo así por dentro, por la puerta, porque tiene vidrios. Así así chiquitillos, pero bien cabezones.
Uh-huh.
Bien cabezones. Dos monitos, riéndose y me despiertan y jalan la cobija.
Before we went to the challenging cave, we wanted to do a test run on the ROV.
My name is Michael Gerard, and I'm an ROV pilot. An ROV is an underwater drone. We figured that there may be many fossils hidden underwater because the jaw he found was underwater. So what incredible fossil finds could be waiting to be discovered there? The ROV has been a team member for quite a while, and his name is Teddy. One run we had a diver named Teddy who was supposed to join us to do some underground exploration. Well, he couldn't make it, so we decided to send the ROV in his place. So we nicknamed him Teddy, and the nickname stuck.
The ROV performed perfect. So now we're ready to go into the real challenging cave. of this.
So we're going to drop the ROV in and try to answer the question of what is the cause of getting all these fossils in here.
We started cruising, and very soon we saw what it looked like it was a bone. So we approached it, but basically the turbulence of the ROV immediately created a cloud of mud. We could not see anything, so we knew that this was not a place where we can do any more search. It was like a mirage in the desert, no? That you see something, and when you're approaching, all of a sudden, poof, it's no longer there. We continued cruising, found a place with better conditions, saw another bone. We tried to grab it, but we failed.
So what was exciting for me is that as I had the bone in the claw, I felt like I had it in my own hands. But unfortunately, the ROV didn't have the power to be able to lift it up. So in reality, it was hundreds of feet away from us and we couldn't bring it back. So it can be quite a challenge to be able to get something with the claw, but with years of practice, you can get quite good at it. You probably can relate to it with that claw game where you're picking the toy out of it. Now, the difference between the two is there's a lot more pressure on you in getting those fossils back rather than just getting a toy. Oh, look at all the shrimp.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, that's a
Little angels.
waterfall of shrimp. Oh, look at that. So beautiful.
While we hadn't been successful collecting fossils, we came across one of the most amazing underwater scenes I have ever witnessed. A breeding colony of missing shrimps. There were thousands falling like snowflakes. We call it the Dome of the Angels. You look for science, hoping to achieve beauty in life. Okay, well, my take is a little bit disappointed. I was hopeful that on day one we could simply get all the fossils and get something fascinating. That's not how research and fieldwork works, no? You just have to keep on trying and trying. So basically, we were invited by the maestro to go to this restaurant, have celebration. Cheers, we're here, old friends. And as we were chatting, he dropped the bomb to us. What he told us is that the community has decided to sell the land. They're gonna drill to extract all the water. He described where they were planning to drill down. And what happens is that with our studies that we've been conducting, we could see that they were gonna hit this main pool where all the fish are, all the beautiful missing shrimp that we call the angels. They're so amazing. And what happens is that our studies has shown us that this is a pool. It's not a river. So this pool essentially has enough water for, let's say, 1/3 of an Olympic pool. If they plan to pump this for agriculture, farming, they're simply gonna use up all the water, all the fish, all the shrimp, all these endemic, unique, amazing species. They're gonna be destroyed. The whole ecosystem is destroyed. Maestro basically told us for how much was the land gonna be sold. An idea occurred to us. We could actually buy the property and create a nature preserve to protect all the amazing resources. And we submitted this proposal. Hey, look at all these amazing fish. Look at all these gorgeous shrimp. Look at all these fossils, all these bones. We proposed to them, would you like to help us make a nature preserve? And they thought about it. But what's the problem? As of now, we really have no fossils. Yes, we've seen it, but we haven't been able to collect any of them. We don't have physical evidence that there's Ice Age vertebrates.
¿Cuál fue tu conclusión de la expedición después de esos 5 días?
Conservación. Es tan valioso que hay que conservarlo. Not more. At least in the terms of exploration, topography, we're doing great strides. It's really going well. The problem is the fossils. Today is going to be challenging. The width of the entrance is literally this width. You have 10 centimeters on the chest to wiggle down and enter this big dome. We have to find ways to optimize time. Time's running out. We need those fossils. I was snorkeling, looking for more fossils, and all of a sudden I see this weird thing. It has like the size of a pear. Grab it, and all of a sudden I see that there's a handle with a ring. And I realized, this is a grenade! And I'm thinking, oh, let's take a photograph. And then I'm like, holy cow, I imagine myself blasted into the walls of the caves. I just gingerly deposit it, and I'm not gonna touch it. We're not gonna search for any more bones in this area. We put the ROV on the water, and we had found all these large cache of bones, and we were exploring and looking at it. We came into another gallery where one another of our team was there. All this took time. And we were pressing on, and when we were 10% battery, we had to return fast.
Visibility was low now on the return, and there were hazards to deal with on it too.
Uh-oh, we're in bad shape. Pull.
Snagged.
We came to this point where the roof and the ceiling were starting to pinch, and we kept trying to push. I suspect that what happened as we went through that low area, I went through where there's more space in the middle, and the tether went to the edge. So when we tried to pull it back, the ROV got jammed right in this tight spot in the edge.
Okay, I'm not moving at all.
And eventually, when the ROV tried to come out, it got stuck. I don't know if I have any control at all at this point. Find our Leatherman, so we use primitive method by bashing it with a rock to break it free.
Losing RoboTeddy was really a great disappointment. Not just in the idea of you don't want to lose equipment, but RoboTeddy had been a member of our team and had gone through so many challenges like this and so many moments where we thought we would lose him, but somehow he was able to pull through. But today was the day that we couldn't get him to return, and it seemed like we lost a member of our team that has worked so hard and accomplished so much with us.
I'll snorkel on the other side and see if I see it. I cannot reach it by hand. It's too far, but probably with the net. And now it's completely murky. Nos hace falta algo largo que tenga un gancho al final. ¿Tiene varilla?
Yo tengo varilla, ahí voy a cortar uno. Uno, el mexicano, todo el tiempo ya sabe cómo hacer las cosas.
Nos salvó la vida a usted, yo creo.
No.
Le salvó la vida al robotito. I try to pull, solid like a rock, nothing. I move a little more, and then I feel a little give. And I'm like, oh, this feels like something is giving in. And as I'm pulling, all of a sudden, I see the yellow figure of Robot Teddy with the eyes looking at me like, I'm alive, survived.
I didn't have a lot of faith in retrieving Roboteddy. So the moment I knew that he had been saved, I was incredibly excited.
So Roboteddy, what was it like to be stuck in the cave?
It's important that we change the way we've been doing things. Instead of pushing like we did yesterday, getting it down to 20% and continuing on, and then almost losing an ROV, we got to change the way we're doing things. That was very stressful, and it would be a loss for the later days of the expedition to only have one ROV. This is the most important day of all. There's a lot riding on it, but I would say anything we're going to find is going to be a great takeaway. So we're going to attempt with the claw to grab onto some of those fossils and see if we can bring them back out.
Now we're able to successfully grab onto a leg bone and then begin to bring it out from the water. But we were worried. At any point we could have hit the ceiling of the cave. I could have dropped it in the silt and it would be lost in the silt below. Many things that could have gone wrong to damage this fossil. So what we did is we brought it in far enough to the point where Louise could snorkel and retrieve it from the claw. And as far as I know, that is the first time ever there was a partnership between an ROV and a human to retrieve a fossil from deep underwater within a cave.
See the split? That tells us that this is a camel. Yeah. This is a feline.
Fantastic.
That's a carnivorous. Wow, this is today's most important. Yeah, you don't find carnivore teeth often. You can even see the serrated edges. This cave has these amazing, unique conditions that all these bones come inside it, and there's all these minerals, in particular manganese. And basically all these bones get coated in this manganese solution that becomes rock.
Bring it up, bring it up.
What is it? It's a jaw.
What?
It's a complete jaw.
Wow, that's an Artiodactyla. Let me see the cusps. Yeah, typical. Wow, what a
Oh my
fun.
god,
Oh
I'm
my
so
goodness.
excited. I'm the first person to touch this since it died tens of thousands of years ago.
Wow, that's gonna be great for doing research.
I'm so happy. It's heavy too. It's really... This animal must have been massive. You could tell just the head must have been like enormous.
Seeing those fossils underground was a thrilling experience. It's amazing to think that these creatures once were on this planet, but now they've been erased. As I looked at that jaw, I imagined these gargantuan creatures, the woolly mammoth, the camel, the megabison, the dominant creatures on the planet long in the past.
Behind this ultra narrow space you have to breathe out to pass, we're seeing a mammoth molar.
You ready to pull me out of here by my feet?
All right, the mammoth tooth has been excavated.
Yay! Bravo!
Yeah.
Holy cow!
So it's really potential. Maybe you can put it with another one or something. This one's really gonna be fragile.
First load of fossils! Okay, second load of fossils ready to pull up!
So Mike, if this was an Indiana Jones movie, what would happen next?
That's when they would drag the slab of rock over the top of the entrance.
And seal us in.
That's right.
My inclination is for a claw.
One of my favorite experiences of the trip was cutting open this water bottle and filling it to the brim with teeth of all kinds, shapes, and species, and then packing it with garbage to create a transportable container out of the cave. Flint flake, I guess. Okay, so yeah, next I found the bead, and that was...
We're making a detailed catalog of where each of the fossils was located in the cave. We have the photographic in situ placings, and now I'm making a list of where things were located in the map. This time we're gonna be doing scuba diving. Well, we're here to rent our equipment. Oh, there's a vulture. You heard it? It nests inside the cave. The plan is we're gonna go to the sump where we saw a partial skeleton of a camelid, and with the assistance of the ROV, we're gonna, and scuba diving, a human is gonna go pick up the remains of the skeleton, And the ROV is gonna give security and spot how things are going.
We got so many levels of technology at play here.
Okay, last check. All right.
Roboteddy's ready to roll. Wow.
As I was picking up the fossils, the water started getting cloudier and cloudier. Every time that I pick a bone, cloud of silt comes up. I realized this is starting to become too dangerous for comfort. This is the type of circumstances that you do not want to get in. My lifeline is my only way out. But I'm carrying all this net with fossils and tools. This is getting tougher and tougher. Zero visibility. I'm starting to get scared. But then a light shines in the distance. Who's approaching? Our little hero, Roboteddy. Roboteddy is there to support me. I know that he's experienced a lot of zero visibilities. He knows where to go. I just need to follow it. He's keeping me in touch, and it took me all the way back with my friends to safety. This is the edge of sports scuba. Basically, this is equipment for scuba diving in open ocean. This was the utter limit of this equipment before it becomes dangerous. From now on, any future attempts to collect more, you really need to bring a professional caving scuba diver. This was the edge of safety. This is gorgeous. Wow! So you see the group of vertebrates that you collected, that they were all within this little space. So here's this one. Here's this one. But look what's happening. And then look. They're all from the same individual.
So what does that mean as far as how it was deposited in the cave?
Well, what it means is that full carcasses fell into the cave or were brought into the cave, and they decomposed as cadavers, not as little single bones that are carried by the stream.
Check this out.
Let's see.
Look at this thing. What do you think it is, sloth?
Oh my goodness.
That's the biggest claw I've ever seen.
This is a big claw?
Yeah, that's huge. Nothing compared to the one I found yesterday.
Well, Louise found something.
What's that? Oh my god! That's a claw! That's a sloth claw!
Yeah.
That's a giant sloth claw!
Whoa! So what's this then? A baby sloth? Wow! That thing must have been 20 feet tall!
Look at all these veins some. Gentlemen, cheers.
Cheers to this giant sloth that once wore this claw.
Very gingerly, trying to get it free. It's coming. Relax. Slow. Okay, it's free. Okay. Looks like a palate. Oh, there's teeth. It's a carnivorous. Yeah, that's the top of the head. Oh my goodness.
That's incredible.
A glyptodont is a giant armadillo the size of a Volkswagen. Large feline, we've got it.
Yep.
Giant sloth, we got it. Glyptodont, we have them all now. Yay. The last of the megafauna that we were missing. Wow. This deserves a hug. Yeah! We have this bone, there's these scratch marks. One hypothesis is that those scratch marks are made from stone tools from the humans from glacial times that lived in this area and were hunting for animals. There is a very interesting scientific conundrum of when did humans arrive to America? The date is not known exactly. The next question is, what happened with the megafauna that was in the Americas? One of the leading hypotheses is that there's this first culture of humans, the Clovis people, and they hunted for mammoths, hunted for the giant sloths, and drove them to extinction. But that's a very polemic thing. Look at this. The cave did not break something as delicate as this, but a bone as thick as this is broken. Could it be that humans were going for the marrow? That's an intriguing possibility. We're here with Ramon Espinasa. He's a geologist from UNAM. And Ramon, basically, what I need you to do is identify the geological origin of certain rocks that we brought from the cave. So, can you tell us what's this?
This looks like a fragment of rhyolite.
What is that?
Rhyolite is a volcanic rock. It's a very acidic rock. And it's in Mexico, it's usually of the tertiary age.
Do we have rhyolite in the stratigraphic region above the cave?
No, on the Sierra de Labra there was never any volcanic activity in that area. It's far away from there.
So what are you telling me is that this piece of rock could not be washed by the stream, by the water, into the cave?
Not by the stream that goes into Cueva Calera.
So what's the conclusion? If it cannot be brought by the...
This was inside the cave.
This was inside the cave.
It has to have been brought into the cave.
By whom?
By people, obviously.
People.
Definitely. This one has been hit to make this edge pretty much a lot more sharp.
So...
Sí, ahora sí.
Do you think that these could be tools to slice pieces of meat from the Clovis people?
Possibly.
So your conclusion is all these are man-made tools?
Well, I mean, some of them, like this one, are obviously man-made things. This has been perforated. These also. So these have been modified, and most of these are scraping tools, probably.
I mean, obviously it's broken.
This is very similar to the other one.
Yeah.
We're gonna attempt to remake the hammer bone that we found in the cave with some modern materials of the same type. So we have a bison metacarpal here, and we have some flint. All right, so we'll use our newly made tool to make some scrapers. There we go. We'll just sharpen it up a little bit and then we can use it on the hide. Using the bison metacarpal hammer bone, I was able to quickly make this end scraper. So you can see the triangular shape. It has a chisel edge, so it's beveled on one side. It's very similar to the one that I found in the cave. See that it's triangular to be mounted in a handle, and the scraping edge is chisel shaped, so it has a like a beveled edge rather than a blade-like edge. We're gonna insert it in a piece of bison horn so that you have a good grip on it, and let's see how well this actually works with its intended purpose of dehairing hides.
With this tool that we've just made, it's identical pattern to the fossil. We can see there's this bang here, and as I go around, you can see that here's this other one. Basically identical banging pattern to make this tool.
Giant sloth. It's huge.
How big would the guy be?
Bigger than an elephant. As big as a house. A big house.
It's gonna be one of the largest cache of Pleistocene remains for the whole area. This is of amazing scientific importance. There's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of bones there. This whole community depends on the water that emerges from one spring. This spring ultimately is fed by the water that comes from our cave where we found the bones. So preserving that cave is of essence for the health of this community. Well, as part of our study has uncovered, basically we have the locals extract water for drinking just 30 meters from here. And this one they use as a garbage dump. But what we've uncovered thanks to the drone is that the two of them connect, and basically as part of our community service what we're doing is cleaning this place. Jordi just found those spark plugs. They're loaded with heavy metals. We're finding bottles that contain oils, general garbage, and all that is going to affect the water quality. I mean, it could even become poisonous. One of the things that we found with the ROV is we've reached places that no human being had been before. And we pop out into a dome of air, and human garbage is already there. It seems that the Clovis may have 14,000 years ago, maybe they're butchered animals, the remains were garbage, they threw them down the pit. And then later on, pre-Columbian, we find ceramics. Nowadays, we're doing the same, but this time the problem is that these carry toxic chemicals. Yo hice la carrera de biología en la UNAM y ahorita soy profesor del Colegio Marista en Nueva York. Entonces, bueno, vamos a los tres. Nuevamente, todos tenemos...
Que sí vamos a llevar a cabo este proyecto que me sugiere Luis Espinasa para beneficio de la comunidad científica internacional y que esto, el avance de la ciencia, siga adelante.
Me dijo mi esposo que había un predio con una cueva. Nunca me imaginé, o sea, yo pensé una cueva, pues, y he escalado, pero nunca me imaginé que hubiera esos animales ahí y yo quisiera que ahí quedaran. Y seguir adelante con todo esto. A lo mejor el día de mañana pues teníamos ese proyecto, pero a lo mejor cambiamos de opinión.
We cannot do this alone. The local community in preserving this cave will require alternatives to get water. We need your help.
you.